in a solid. You can only put a flavor in a liquid, and so that's the definition of the product. Is we it had to start with a liquid, change the flavor. It's all custom made per order, but I didn't know how to do it, and my wife left this. So that was the question. I was like, how are we going to do this? And so um, just went down the very open of what we're going to do. And then my wife left an article about liquid nitrogen um, on the in the bathroom out open. She thought I might think it was interesting. And anyway, I just was instantaneous. My degree's in chemistry, so it was kind of instantaneous. That's exactly what we're going to do. So then it just went through, started in the research. Now we remember I couldn't afford freezers to bring in ice cream. I didn't have the capital or even the credit. Um, so but I could afford a military surplus liquid nitrogen tank.
Hmm.
So that's where it started and I still use that tank for catering. So I use it quite a bit. So so anyway, it started all with all of our original equipment because in fact, when going back to that time period, there weren't the delivery mechanisms for liquid nitrogen for stores like you have now. Like the other people in the marketplace, they had the benefit of the fact that the equipment's available to them. It wasn't until about 2007 that liquid nitrogen was even would be delivered,
Hmm.
because the equipment just didn't exist, from the welding supply places. Um, so it was really kind of we were very early stage. I I used to drive down to the and drive back. So it's so there it's back. So I would go down to Praxair and drive back, and my nitrogen tanks in the back of my little truck they vent, and so when they do that, they give off a cloud, and so people would be like driving up next to me and going, "Hey," I'd say, "Hey, your tank's gonna blow." And what you can't really talk to somebody in the next lane over.
Right.
So I'm just like, yeah. And I'm like, thumbs up. And I'm like, so they just think I'm crazy. But it was but then then I bought this military surplus 400-gallon tank, and this is again before um any of the stuff that's available now was available. And I got it out of the Redstone Arsenal. And because I was in the National Guard, I actually looked up this receipt that the military paid for this tank, and so which was interesting. Um, but it usually stuff that comes out of the military surplus. A lot of that stuff's just scrap. It doesn't really work. And luckily, everything was intact on this tank. So I built a trailer, and then I would go down to Air Liquide, and I'd drive into the plant, and I'd pick it up and take it back. And it was so it was early stage was there was a lot of work. But then once it became 2008, then things were, you able to be delivered, um, into stores. Then it was